Alright guys, it's finally here, the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite. Not only is that a long name, but I've been waiting for this thing since, I don't know, the beginning of April. Now I pre-ordered this online for about $350, and then I was waiting and waiting and waiting. But now it's finally here, and this is the 64GB version. I believe there's also a 128GB version, and you can get 3 different colors. I decided to pick the Angora Blue. This does have 4GB of RAM. It's got an Exynos 9610 8-core processor, 10.4-inch display at 2000 by 1200 resolution. It has an integrated Mali G72 MP3 graphics card. It's got Bluetooth 5.0, USB-C charging, 7040 milliamp hour battery, and this is on Android 10. So that's some of the main specs. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. I'm really anxious to see what this looks like. Okay, I can tell already. This is pretty lightweight for a tablet this size. A super short USB-C charging cable, micro SD card or SIM tray removal tool, depending on which model you get. I went with the Wi-Fi only version. Quick start guide and terms and conditions. Now this is what I call an S Pen. It basically feels like a regular pencil. Definitely better than some of the smaller S Pens that you're gonna get with the Note series phones or even the 8-inch tablet with S Pen. Okay, yeah, this actually looks really good. It might be kind of hard to tell in the video, but the back metal is almost the same color as the S Pen. It's got the headphone jack there on the top, along with microphone. And the nice thing is they put a speaker on the top and also on the bottom, along with the USB-C charging port. Power and volume buttons there on the right-hand side. Also on the right hand side, towards the bottom, is where your micro SD card goes, or SIM card, depending on which model you got. Up in the left on the back is your 8-megapixel camera. The lines across the top and bottom sort of remind me of what Apple used to do on their iPhones. As a quick size comparison, here's the Tab S5e and the Galaxy Tab A 10.1. So it's basically the same height as the other two tablets. It probably resembles the Tab S5e the most. It does feel maybe just a hair thicker, but you can see it isn't quite as wide as the Tab S5e, probably a little easier to handle. For the lock screen on this, you've got face recognition, pattern, PIN, and password. I'm surprised they didn't put a fingerprint scanner over on the side like on the Tab S5e, because to me that's really convenient, but maybe to keep costs down, they decided not to, I don't know. So initially, when you're starting out, it looks like you've got about 50 gigabytes available, which isn't too bad. First thing I'm gonna do is change this button order. I'm gonna turn adaptive brightness off just for this video. Obviously, you've got light or dark theme. This is on One UI 2.1, Android 10. It's also on March 1, 2020 security patch. Some of the shortcuts in the notification shade, such as Smart View, similar to casting your screen on other Android devices. This does have screen recorder, quick share, scan QR code, and it also has Dolby Atmos, Samsung Kids, music share, focus mode. It does have call and text on other devices, daily board, Bixby routines, a shortcut for powering off the device, and then you can change the button order, quick panel layout, and status bar. So now when you swipe on the home screen to go to the left, they've got something called Samsung Daily, which is basically just your news feed. So you can see there's some of the preloaded apps from Samsung, your typical ones from Google, the ones I never use from Microsoft. You've got phone where you can sign in with your Samsung account or with Google. Eventually phones will probably be this size. And then some of your other apps that normally come on Samsung devices, like Samsung Kids. They also put Netflix on there, messages, camera, and they've also got some tips. Over here on the side, you've got your shortcuts, such as Create Note, View All Notes, Smart Select, Screen Write, Live Messages, AR Doodle, Pin Up, and if that's not enough, you can add a lot more. Finally, a tablet that gets full HD on the Netflix app. For some reason, most of the cheaper tablets are only in SD instead of full HD. Obviously, you're going to get 1080p when watching YouTube videos. Let me give you a quick example of how loud these speakers are. In my opinion, yeah, these are pretty good. 8 gigahertz processor, $165 for this one, but I'll leave a link in the description below with current pricing. I mean, for just over 150 bucks or cheaper depending on where you get it, I feel you really do get a lot for the money you're spending. Now keep in mind that just like with the gestures you have are double tap to wake, easy there on the bottom, simple wired headphones, and of course the SIM card ejection tool. Oh wow. It's good to see it. Looks like I'm getting full Wi-Fi speeds on this device. Let's take a quick look at the camera. So it looks like you've got live focus, photo, looks like you can zoom in to 4 times, video, then you've also got a pro mode, panorama, food, and hyperlapse. You've also got Bixby Vision and AR Zone. Looks like about 1 million settings you can go through. Resolution for the rear camera is 1920 by 1080. Same thing for video on the front facing camera. This does have video stabilization, auto HDR. You've also got a ton of different filters to choose from. And of course, a beauty mode. It's got a pretty fast shutter speed on here. And for a budget tablet, this has really good detail. Now I'll show you a few photos and video just so you can get an idea of what you can expect from this tablet. So I tried to color in the Fishbee logo using the Adobe Illustrator app and quickly realized it was way more complicated than it needed to be. So I said forget that and switched over to the Pinup app that's pre-installed on here. And yeah, this app is pretty sweet. I never realized how much I love using the airbrush tool. I mean, check out this metal armadillo looking thing. Maybe it's the fact that I didn't buy the more expensive Tab S6, but I'm just amazed at this new S Pen stylus they have. It's lightweight and really easy to use. I can definitely see this being one of the most popular devices this year for drawing, taking notes, or just doing anything related to using a stylus or pencil on tablets. By the way, did I mention how good this stylus is? I may just have to do a separate video so you can see this thing in action. Not bad, eh? So it looks like graphics settings for PUBG Mobile is right in the middle at HD with high frame rates. That's actually really good compared to a lot of the other tablets I've looked at. Gameplay was nice and smooth during my testing. Let me show you some more game footage of PUBG Mobile just so you can get an idea of what it looks like. Now, one downside to having a battery this large in a tablet without fast charging is it takes about 4 hours to charge this thing. I also tested Asphalt 9, and of course that played nice and smooth as well. I think this is a really good budget to mid-range device if you like to do a lot of gaming. Now, even though it's magnetic and you can stick it to the side of the tablet, I would definitely recommend getting a case like one of these by Infiland so that you don't lose it, because these things are like 70 bucks to replace. Obviously, we're gonna have to do some case videos for this tablet because I have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of good ones. So you can probably already tell after seeing this video that this is going to be one of my favorite devices of 2020. I know some people will try to say it's underpowered or doesn't have the high specs like the regular Tab S6. It's actually a little less powerful than the Tab S5e according to these Geekbench scores. But for people who want to save money, like me, yeah, this thing is really good. Especially if you're someone who needs to take notes or are looking for a cheaper drawing tablet. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.